Runoff season has arrived, but don't be fooled by low snowpack. Local waters like the Blue River, 10 Mile Creek, and Colorado River might not be running as fast or as high as they usually are this time of May, but even a few inches of extra water is dangerous. The Summit County Water Rescue Team is a group of volunteers and professional rescuers on call for incidents across the county and the state, from busted inner tubes on the 10 Mile Creek to drownings at Lake Dillon. In the thick of high water season, SJ Hammett with the Summit County Sheriff's Office stopped by the Krystal 93 studio to talk swift water safety, the rescue team philosophy, and why rivers will not, cannot stop, just like the Terminator.
I'm Tom Fricke. Joining me in the studio, it's SJ Hammett from the Summit County Sheriff's Office. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Tom. It's great to be here.
Glad to have you here. Now, you gave me a little preview of what you do with the Sheriff's Office. Tell everybody else, what is your job with the Summit County Sheriff's Department?
So I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 21 years now. I've survived 3 sheriffs.
Yeah,
and,
wow, good job.
Currently, I'm in our Special Operations section. So we do a little bit of everything. The sheriff has a lot of responsibilities outside just detentions, civil papers, and patrol type stuff, such as wildfire stuff, search and rescue, and a lot of other jobs.
So technically, what is your title?
So I'm actually a technician. I'm
technically a technician.
Technically a technician.
Yes.
It's along the same level as a detective. I'm above a deputy, but below a sergeant.
Okay. So you're working with the Summit County Sheriff's Office, and what your areas of specialty, search and rescue?
Yep. So we work very closely with our search and rescue team. It's probably safe to say we're all part members of the search and rescue and water rescue team. And I'm actually a diver on our water rescue team as well.
Wow. Okay.
We do a lot of backcountry patrol. We deal with the ski areas a lot in the winter. Unfortunately, we take care of all the skier deaths that we get. So the kind of dark side of our job.
What's the fun side of your job?
The fun side's probably all the toys that we get. You'll see us driving around in pickup trucks. In the winter, we have snowmobiles in the back.
Yeah.
Summer, we have ATVs or dirt bikes. So we have a lot of tools to help us access the backcountry.
Tools. Yes,
Tools.
I like that. In the sheriff speak, it's tools.
Yeah.
All the other guys call it toys. But you showed me some of the cool tools that you're working with as well, or that you will be working with here in the near future, and you're going to be testing these out. Talk about the...
Yeah, so we got 2 grants and then a couple of private donors who generously donated a lot of funds to get a brand new remotely operated vehicle. So it's an underwater sub that it's a commercial grade, kind of like a remote control sub.
Okay, now how big is this?
It is it's kind of like a foot square.
It's a little bigger than a bread box.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
But not much.
No, it's not one of those where you're going to see a couple of people underwater in this sub on Lake Dillon. That's not going to happen.
No.
It's a remote control device.
It is. It does have some very high-tech features. It allows for easy search patterns if you're looking for something. It actually has a built-in sonar, so if the visibility is so degraded underneath the water that you can't see, it will actually use sonar to see and find people, objects, whatever we happen to be looking
Now,
for.
this is something you did not have for that North Park pond death that happened a couple of years ago.
We did not. It's
Right.
it's
So,
brand
and that took
new.
a long time to find that body.
Yeah, that was that unfortunate situation because of all the weed growth on the bottom made it really hard for our other regular side scan sonar to find it in anybody or in there. It was just very difficult terrain to look in.
So this new unit that you have is definitely an upgrade.
The benefit of this, at least with the scanning part, is our side scan actually requires movement from a boat. It has to constantly be moving at a couple miles an hour to pick up any images. Whereas the one attached to the ROV doesn't require any movement. It can just sit there and send out the scan signals and receive them back while stationary.
So you'll have a lot better capability for all the things that you'd be using this for.
The real benefit is the safety of our divers. Diving up in Summit County waters is treacherous.
Now, what are the challenges? I mean, obviously it's different. The altitude is one of the primary concerns.
Yeah, because of the depth of the water, your bottom time is greatly reduced, as is your depth. Because of the air pressure, I don't want to get too into the dive calculator there, but we can't go as deep as we could at sea level.
Right.
And we can't stay as down for as long. So we're very much restricted there. And obviously the cold, the ice, there's a lot of challenges. The visibility it's not Florida up here.
Yeah, no
so
kidding.
the water can be absolutely zero visibility, which is very difficult to find anything or get anything done down there.
Talking with SJ Hammett this morning from the Summit County Sheriff's Office, and one of the things you keep an eye out for this time of the year is flooding. Is it a real big concern just because we haven't had the huge snowpack?
I don't know that we're as concerned about flooding this year, but we're always concerned about swiftwater safety.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people might get complacent this year because it appears that our snowpack isn't as good.
Right.
But it doesn't take much in the swiftwater world to cause a tragedy. You know, I was just looking at Dillon Valley, where Straight Creek comes down, and it's flowing pretty good.
It's flowing good. Yeah, well, just 10 Mile Creek. I was looking at that yesterday. It's, okay. Levels coming up on that, too.
And it just doesn't take much to, get yourself in a bad situation. And the river is kind of like the Terminator. It does not stop. It won't stop until it gets you. So.
And it will be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is just some of the basic safety things we should keep in mind around swiftwater?
So I think for me, the concern is always the children that are around the swiftwater because they just don't know any better. Like I said, in Dillon Valley, there's always kids playing right there by the creek. And it's not a very big creek, and a good portion of the year it's a couple inches deep. And,
Sure.
Probably not a big deal then. But as soon as it goes up, a kid falls in or he's playing in and gets sucked in, and it's just unforgiving. So other than keeping an eye on your children, obviously, when you're near it, just be very aware of your pets and yourself. For us as rescuers, our rule of thumb is we don't go within 10 feet of the water without a personal flotation device. So always have the right equipment. And if you're going to recreate in swift water, you always want to make sure you have the proper training and equipment.
Wear a PFD.
Always.
Can't tell you how many times I've been boating on the Upper Colorado and seeing some people out there just recreating without any PFDs. Just shake my head. What can you do? So what can you do if you see somebody that's just being obviously not smart?
You can always call us and we can come help educate them, or you can try and educate themselves. A lot of times alcohol is involved in these events as well, so it doesn't hurt to call us and get in on it. Sometimes those actually will turn into a rescue for us when the person does get into trouble. And it really depends on where they're at. Obviously most of the resources for rescue is here in the central area of Summit County, not the north end. So if it happens to be on the lower blue going towards Green Mountain, it's going to take us a little longer to get there. Nice thing about the 10 Mile is you end up in the reservoir.
Yeah.
And in the summer, we have 3 rangers that patrol the recreation area around Lake Dillon. So they're on 7 days a week, and they're always there to help out once they do come in.
Always ready to help out, man. That's what I like about Summit County Sheriff's Department. You guys have a great staff and helping out around the community. And I love your toys. I mean, what's not to love about, having ATVs and motorcycles and real cool remote-controlled vehicles?
And don't forget our boats, and we have a hovercraft.
Oh, that's right. How is that hovercraft anyway? I mean, it comes out like once a year to get the ice melt device, and that's about it, right?
Well, no, we bust it out before we put that out to make sure it's working.
Well, yeah, you got to test it out.
It's actually really good in that kind of mid-season where the ice is really thin.
Yeah.
But there's more, we don't have an icebreaker up here. The sheriff's working on that. He does a great job of getting us what we need. So until we get the icebreaker, the hovercraft works really well at getting out there in the thin ice because it can float on water.
Yeah.
If we need to.
Do you ever get it out any other time of the year, though? I mean, summertime, there's really no need for it since you got a boat out there.
Yeah,
right?
it's definitely not as efficient as a boat on the water.
Right.
Although I have to say, I personally haven't had it out in the water. So we'll have to try that.
Something for the future plans. SJ, thanks for coming in this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. A pleasure.